What's up guys, it's Justin here, and today I've got a camera comparison for you between the Google Pixel and Pixel XL and the Samsung Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. From what I've tested, these are perhaps the two best phone cameras on the market, so let's go ahead and get started with the specs. First off, the Google Pixel and Pixel XL have a 12.3 megapixel f2.0 camera with a 1.55 micron pixel size, phase detection autofocus, and the lack of optical image stabilization. And on the front you will find an 8 megapixel camera with an f2.4 aperture and a 1.4 micron pixel size. The Samsung Galaxy S7 has a 12 megapixel rear facing camera at an f1.7 aperture, phase detection autofocus with OIS, a 1.4 micron pixel size, and on the front you will find a 5 megapixel camera with a 1.34 micron pixel size and an f1.7 aperture. By the way, if you would like to pick up these beautiful Bamboo D brand skins, be sure to check the link in the description section below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the samples. Samsung's line of flagship phones this year have probably the best cameras out of any smartphone, and I'm sure a lot of people could agree with that. Google, on the other hand, made a bold statement about their camera, saying that it is the best on the market. I have to tell you though that from this comparison, both of these phones have great cameras, and in some of the images, it is actually quite a close test between them. If you look very closely though, you could tell that the Google Pixel does retain more overall detail, while the Samsung Galaxy S7's noise reduction and process sharpness is evident in some images. Especially in this picture here where you look into the leaves and just notice the amount of detail that has been isolated from the Samsung Galaxy's picture. That being said, both phones represented great dynamic range and nailed the exposure for the most part, but in a couple images the Samsung Galaxy S7 did overexpose the highlights just a little bit, and that could be seen best in the clouds. In the end, it would really come down to your own taste and what kind of look you prefer, but in my opinion, the Google Pixel does a better job overall, and both of these phones are inarguably incredible at taking photos. When it comes to the low light performance, the Google Pixel is able to capture just more in general due to its higher pixel size, but the Samsung Galaxy S7 is still no slouch, and it did produce a slightly sharper image in low light. Moving on to the front-facing camera, the one on the Samsung Galaxy S7 has always been one of my favorites because of just how wide it is, and you can see here that it is able to capture more light in general, but the Google Pixel's image looks cleaner and sharper for sure, and the exposure seems to be better balanced as well, but the Samsung Galaxy S7's camera is just so wide, and that's going to come handy in many cases. When it comes to the 4K video recording, you might notice that they both have a distinct look. The color is really going to come down to personal preference. I did notice that the Google Pixel was slightly overexposed in some areas, but one thing the Google Pixel is definitely better at is the stabilization. I had these mounted on the same thing, and you will see that even though it does not have optical image stabilization, software stabilization is able to do a pretty good job aside from times when you're trying to pan the camera where it might come out as jittery. Hopefully this can be improved through a software update, but you might notice on the Samsung Galaxy S7, the optical image stabilization proves to have quite a bit of a jello effect when in motion. So although I prefer the look of the video on the Samsung Galaxy S7 in that it captures a significantly wider field of view, the stabilization is a huge weak point of this camera. But other than that, I have to say both phones perform very well, and they obviously have their disadvantages and advantages in each category, but I can definitely tell you with confidence that these are two of the best smartphone cameras on the market offered right now. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well down in the comment section below as to which camera you think won this war, and I'll see you all in the next one.